How you doing, everybody? Thanks for watching. This is George over here at Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and safety emergency strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, bicycles, tricycles, SUVs, nice pickup trucks like this 2018 Ford F-150. What you're looking at here is a basic package, fairly easy to install. This truck happens to be a Lariat. That's that chrome grill you're looking at right there, a Lariat grill in the 2018 year. Our mini thin LED light fits quite nicely right in between the two chrome bands. You can use the supplied VHB tape or the included screws to mount it, but you will need to drill one hole for your wires. That is in the black portion of the grill, so if you were ever to remove it, it's fairly easy to conceal the hole. Above that, you can see our drill-free mount with a 16-inch Whelen Mini Bar on it. It's a very nice fit. We've got a video link to exactly how to install that bar to that mount, as another video how to install that mount to the vehicle. We've set it up on an aggressive ping pong flash pattern, but both the mini thin light and the roof light have included many patterns, so you can choose one that suits your own needs. In the grill area, you can see we've synchronized the two mini thin. They're firing amber and white, 75 FPM alternation, and they're color synced to both fire at the same time. Here's a little better look at them. I think by synchronizing them on the same color, when you get a little bit further away from the vehicle, you get that color pop as one, and it works a little bit better. As I raise that camera up to about 6'6" height, you can see that mini bar on the drill-free mount clears the cab quite nicely. Now, you may wonder about cab clearance if you were to do this mount on your own truck, and the answer is 3.5 inches. So if you're unsure if you're going to fit in your own garage and you want to check on a mount like this, go grab yourself the nearest 2x4 and make sure that you can fit that 2x4 stood up on top of the roof of your truck, the entire pass through the garage door, and then you be sure to clear with this mount. It's just under 3.5 inches of total height. Here's your side shot of that mount. You can see your factory cargo light, third brake light assembly gets backed up and reinstalled in the back of the mount. The mount sandwiches between the roof of the truck and the outer shell of the mount, has a nice foam clamping system. That way there's no holes drilled. It's completely reversible, completely removable, and fairly easy to wire. The wiring passes into the inside of the truck under the headliner, so there's no hanging wires in any of the doors or anything coming along the back glass down behind the truck. Alrighty, as we flip around to the back of the truck here, you can see we're running our auto flasher kit on the factory LED reverse lights. Now, it's a Lariat trim truck, so it does have incandescent headlights, but factory LED reverse. So if you have factory LED reverse like this, you can tell that because you can't physically see the incandescent bulb. Or if you want to just remove your light and look at the back of it, you'll see there's no bulb socket and no bulb in this lens. That means it's LED. Our auto flasher product is the perfect candidate for using the factory reverse lights as strobe lights. Now, this is a no-cut installation. We have a wire swap method that you do behind each tail light, so you do not cut any factory wires, and it's a completely reversible installation. The other thing about this is your factory reverse lights are going to work perfectly fine when your switch is off. So when you're not in emergency mode, rest assured the factory reverse lights retain all functionality that they had before you modified them. That only when you turn on the switch do they strobe like this, and in all other instances they will behave as if nothing was done and they were factory stock. Alrighty, so in relation to that front bumper, as you can see here, this is right what we're talking about. The mini thin fits great. It slides right in there. You could also do a Lin 6, you could do a Thin X, I believe. You could fit a TIR3. You could fit pretty much any of our lights. But as you can see, it has absolutely no profile visible out past the chrome, completely car wash safe, impact resistant. I bet this light will live a long, happy, healthy life here on the grill. Alrighty, now in the cabin, put our switch right here, a very popular spot where we like to put it. It's a fairly easy spot. There's 2 layers of plastic, but you can drill right through and use a 3/4 inch switch like we did. Lights up when you turn it on. Did a fancy little label there, strobe lights with a Dymo labeler. And if you're interested, we pass through the firewall right there through the factory grommet with our wire insertion tool that we'll link to from our website in this video. And that's fairly easy. Just do yourself a favor and make sure you open up that grommet nicely so you don't accidentally nick any of those factory wires. The grommet's 2 layers, but you can very much easily open the inner layer
And that way you can see exactly where the factory wire is and make sure that you don't nick it when you use your wire insertion tool to pass the wiring through.
And then tidy up everything right along the side panel here. And since we're at the end of the video, let's give you a little bit of technical information on how we wired this and what we're going to package up in this particular bundle. So if you want to do exactly the same job, you can go ahead and feel free to click the bundle and pick up this package. And there will be assembly and pattern setting needed on your end, but this is what we're going to include. In the front grille, you've got your two mini thin lights in amber white. We're going to do 25 feet of 22-5, and that's going to allow you to extend both of those lights into the cabin of the truck. You could see where we did through the factory firewall. We're also going to include 25 feet of 16-2, as well as a fuse holder kit and a 3/4 switch. You guessed it. That fuse holder is going to go by your battery. Your 16-2 is going to run from the battery across the front of the truck, under the hood, through the firewall to your 3/4 inch switch. Fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Connections and terminations will be left up to you. Your Acari mount, drill-free mount for the roof, will be included, as well as a 16-inch Whelen Mini Bar. The Whelen Mini Bar has about 12 inches of wire on it from the factory, so we're also going to include 25 feet of 18-3. That's to extend that Whelen Mini Bar down under the headliner, straight down the back wall of the truck, and forward along the driver's floor. That's the best way to get it forward. We come along the trim panel on the driver's kick panel and on the rear door and the front door, all underneath there, and forward up to underneath the dash to your switch. Again, a fairly easy install, not too bad. In the rear of the truck, you're going to get our reverse auto flasher kit. That kit comes with all the wiring necessary. Comes with a 30-foot 18.5, which is going to go from your module mounted behind the driver's reverse light, forward along the frame, all the way to underneath the driver's left foot. There, you'll find a rubber grommet that you can fairly easily poke a hole through and come right up through the carpet underneath the driver's left foot. At that point, you follow it right up to your switch mounted on the dashboard. You'll connect all your wiring to the dashboard, underneath the dashboard on the left side there behind your switch. You'll put a 5-amp fuse at the battery, because this whole system doesn't require more than a 5-amp fuse. And that's about all there is to it. We'll provide you some miscellaneous heat shrink as well to aid in your exterior connections on the auto flasher kit, as well as your connections on the mini thins on the front. The connections on the Acari light are actually underneath the third brake light, weather sealed, so we don't need to waterproof those. So that'll be what's included in this. If you want to reference this build, it's number 18501. Again, that's 18501. And if you're wondering about how many hours you should leave for this job, I would recommend to set aside 6 hours for a medium level installer. That way you're covered. And if it goes longer than 6, I don't know what to tell you on that. You're just going to have to get faster. So thanks again for watching Wicked Warnings, and I hope all that information was useful. Again, check the description in the video for more details on all these products and for the link to purchase the kit, the parts kit, so you can assemble this build on your own at your location. I'll see you guys in the next video.